Hello, and welcome to our Tinker versus Des Moines debate. This is a concise version of the case as seen in the Supreme Court.
In this scenario, you will be the justice. Brittany Lee will represent the petitioner slash student attorney, and Tashana will represent the respondent slash the school district attorney.
The case involves balancing students' First Amendment rights of free speech and expression against the school's obligation to maintain an orderly learning environment at school. The question is, to what extent should schools be able to restrict students' freedom of expression on campus? The case involves Christopher, who was 16, John Tinker, who was 15, and Mary Beth, who was 13. The students decided that, despite their school's announced ban on wearing armbands to protest the Vietnam War, they would wear them as a matter of conscience. In accordance with the policy, each student was then suspended. But from the evidence presented to the trial court, the students did not cause a disruption at school. We therefore believe that the school's enforcement of the armband policy violated their First Amendment rights of free speech and expression.
Didn't the students wear the armbands so that other students and the teachers would see the armbands and perhaps have an educational discussion about Vietnam during class time? The students were studying English or math, and then they're also supposed to be thinking about the Vietnam War, according to the Tinkers. This is going to be an impediment and a detour from learning English or math.
I believe that the method that the students chose was designed in a way that would not cause that kind of disruption. They certainly intended their message to be effective, but they sought to convey it in a way that would not attract their peers' attention for more than a few moments, just as many other things do in the classroom, which are allowed from time to time.
Although the school board didn't point it out, one of the students did say when he was interviewed that two boys wearing armbands were punched. If a community is upset and divided about an issue and students want to express their views, does the school district have to wait until there is a disruption, or should it be allowed to take steps to prevent disruptions?
There is no direct evidence proving that the altercation was caused by the wearing of an armband. Fights are instigated in schools every day. Unfortunately, many members of the student body are subjected to bullying for various reasons. What proves that the two boys were targeted because of this? Additionally, the policy was directed at one specific kind of conduct, wearing black armbands, when there were many other things students were doing that were very similar, such as wearing buttons that said, "Vote for Nixie," and things like that. The school didn't attempt to ban any of those other things. The school simply singled out this one type of message and conduct without a valid reason.
Students cannot express themselves at every time, in every place, and in every circumstance. The petitioners argue that school officials are powerless to act until a disruption occurs. We do not believe that should be the policy or the practice. Sometimes you must act to prevent a bad thing from happening.
The opposing counsel would have you believe that in the Vietnam era, Des Moines was a tinderbox ready to explode. They claim that the explosive situation, as they describe it, justified the school's actions in denying students their First Amendment rights. To that, I simply say there is no evidence in the record indicating that the atmosphere in Des Moines was explosive. School officials are authorized to manage the schools, but they are not authorized to violate the Constitution by setting school policies that infringe on students' First Amendment rights. And in our view, They have done so in this case.
Regardless of the First Amendment, the school should be able to monitor the actions of the students. The school should be able to make good judgment of students' actions and make the right decision they see best fit for the entire school body. School administrators should be given a lot of discretion when balancing student expression against the orderly management of the school.
So the decision in this case was that the Supreme Court ruled that the school district was in violation of the students' rights as per the First Amendment. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope that you got value from what was discussed.